What's up? I'm Rel.
I'm Henry. This is Power.
Project Power. This is our mood board. This is how we came up with everything you see and feel and hear. Nothing against any superhero movies, but it was important to us to say, you know the Human Torch? Let's do it differently.
It came out of a place that was like, I don't get how that works.
Like at one point we're talking about how can somebody actually create like an energetic explosion as opposed to just energy force from the palms of my hand. And we came across this video of 2 grapes exploding in a microwave because they were creating super hot plasma. We were like, what? That's possible in a microwave in less than 2 minutes? And it was stuff like that where we were like, these are the references for our film. We knew we were making our first big action movie, sci-fi action movie. And so we watched, a lot of our favorites like The Professional, which had a really great relationship with a younger girl and an older sort of assassin. We watched Die Hard and Mad Max. But the weirdest answer is that it might be another Jamie Foxx movie, if I had to pick one thing. And it's Collateral, the Michael Mann film with him and Tom Cruise.
That's the only movie that we screened for the crew before shooting. We liked the kind of graininess and the way that you see the light pollution in the skies. That was something we really tried to emulate. We tried to make this look realer and still very photographic, and we were inspired by a kind of filmic look, so we did a pass of live grain, which sort of mimics what film looks like.
I think that's where a couple of those Michael Mann movies come in, Miami Vice and Collateral. And sometimes it's like making the wrong decisions and letting Tom Poole, who's the colorist, just kind of turn up a lot of bright colors that a lot of movies would otherwise have subdued.
But we were so inspired by the city of New Orleans and just tried to capture it. It's a place where you can drop yourself anywhere in the city and turn around in 360 degrees and take 10 great pictures. We try to surround ourselves with photography, and we print up pictures while we're in prep, and we put them all over the walls in our office, so our walls have like hundreds of images on them. So when people come into our office for a meeting, we can say like, what are we talking about? Like that picture. And often those photos that we take become really influential for some reason about the look of the movie. And often there's like 1 or 2 photos that one of us took becomes like, the movie should look like this.
Our job is basically like managing a group's imagination. The more visual references we have, the better the chance that the thing we shoot is what we're looking for. We just kind of like inundate everybody with imagery, and hopefully it's really concise as to what we're trying to create. And we share it with the actors too. I think they really feel comfortable when they know what the environment looks like and sounds like. Send them music, built a playlist for every actor, even had Joe Gordon-Levitt build his own playlist.
He made a Frank playlist of what Frank listens to when he's in his car by himself. We have a little Leroy Dallas, some Creedence, Ike and Tina, The Meters, Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, Johnny Cash.
There's one song that was on a very early playlist that is in the movie, and it's a Curtis Mayfield song.
And a little sugar, honeysuckle, a great big expression.
For me, it's like, what do I listen to on my drive to set?
And those are really important moments when the two of us hear something, we're like, that's the movie. And somehow that sound can translate to a performance or to a lighting choice. And the whole thing becomes like way less overwhelming. When you try to be realistic about superpowers, it leads to a lot of nudity. So the first thing we did was find a costume director who was amazing, who'd made great looking movies with Jamie already, and that's Sharon Davis.
It came from wanting to understand the characters' backstories, and we talked with Sharon a lot about that, like, what would an undercover detective in New Orleans wear on game day? He'd probably wear a jersey.
We both had a vision that Joseph Gordon-Levitt, if he was so in love with New Orleans, he should just wear a Saints jersey the whole time.
And we kind of asked around, like, to our local crew, and we were like, would that feel appropriate and respectful? And everybody said yes, that'd be awesome. We reached out, we got permission, and got in touch with Steve Gleason, and he ended up visiting the set a couple times. That was one of the most magical moments of making the movie.
Anything that can help you give the audience a window into who this person is, you gotta take that opportunity. I don't know if it worked, I don't know if we accomplished it with every costume, but you take all the help you can get. I knew that I was visual, and I knew that that's how I express myself, and I could never find one thing. I was like, this drawing needs music. This comic strip needs voiceover. And I just needed a summer job one time, and I was a bike messenger. And my father called me and he was like, I will pay you double what you're making right now if you make a documentary about this ballet company. And I was like, did you say double? Say no more. And I was there the next day, and I realized, making movies is the combination of all the things I want. It's like every medium you can imagine in one.
You know, what's funny is my dad also made a very big gesture when I was in high school, and he came into my room one day and he was like, what's something that would really just change the game for you? What would really help you out? You know, and I said, well, there's this new computer that just came out, the G4 Mac. And he was like, I'm gonna get you one. I got one in high school, and it was just like the most extravagant gift I could possibly imagine. And having that computer totally changed my life. Having someone who really encourages you and pushes you when you're younger is so helpful.
And that was our mood board.
Project Power, now on Netflix.